Midnight Drive, Haunted Highway. It was one of those nights where the darkness seemed thicker than usual, swallowing the road ahead in an inky black abyss. I was driving alone, the soft hum of the engine the only company I had in the desolate expanse of the countryside. The moon hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows that danced along the edges of the road. As I rounded a bend, something caught my eye, a figure standing on the side of the road, barely visible in the dim glow of my headlights. Instinctively, I slammed on the brakes, my heart pounding in my chest as I came to a screeching halt. I peered out into the darkness, my breath catching in my throat as I realized the figure wasn't human. It stood tall and menacing, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light as it stared back at me with an intensity that sent chills down my spine. Without hesitation, I slammed my foot on the gas pedal, desperate to escape the creature's gaze. But no matter how fast I drove, it seemed to be right behind me, a sinister presence that refused to be shaken. As the miles stretched on, my mind began to unravel, consumed by fear and paranoia. I could feel the creature's eyes boring into me, its malevolent presence looming over me like a dark cloud. I tried to shake the feeling, telling myself it was just my imagination running wild in the darkness. But deep down, I knew it was real, a creature from the depths of my nightmares, haunting me with its relentless pursuit. With each passing mile, the creature drew closer, its presence growing more oppressive with every breath I took. I knew I couldn't outrun it forever, that eventually, it would catch up to me and drag me down into the depths of the night. As the first light of dawn broke on the horizon, I dared to hope that I had finally escaped its clutches. But as I glanced into the rearview mirror, my heart froze in terror. The creature was still there, its eyes burning bright with hunger and malice. In that moment, I realized that I would never be free from its grasp, that I was doomed to be haunted by the creature in the night for eternity. And as the darkness closed in around me, I knew that my fate was sealed, forever trapped in the relentless grip of terror. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. It was a warm summer evening, and I found myself driving along a winding country road, the windows rolled down to let in the cool night air. As I rounded a bend, I spotted a figure standing by the side of the road, thumb outstretched in a silent plea for a ride. I slowed to a stop, curious to see who would be out hitchhiking at this hour. The figure approached the car, a young woman with long, flowing hair and a hauntingly beautiful smile. She climbed into the passenger seat, offering only a silent nod of thanks before settling in for the journey ahead. As we drove, I struck up a conversation, eager to learn more about this mysterious stranger. But no matter how many questions I asked, she remained silent, her gaze fixed on the road ahead. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about her, a sense of unease that gnawed at the pit of my stomach. But I pushed the feeling aside, chalking it up to my overactive imagination. As we neared the outskirts of town, I glanced over at my passenger, only to find that she had vanished into thin air. I slammed on the brakes, heart pounding in my chest as I searched frantically for any sign of her. But there was nothing, no trace of the woman, not even a footprint in the dirt by the side of the road. It was as if she had never been there at all. Shaken but determined to uncover the truth, I continued on my journey, the memory of the vanishing hitchhiker burning bright in my mind. Little did I know, this would be far from the last encounter with the supernatural on my journey through the night. Whispers in the mist. It was a foggy evening, the mist swirling like tendrils of smoke around my car as I navigated the winding roads that cut through the dense forest. The air was thick with an otherworldly chill, and a sense of unease settled over me like a heavy blanket. As I drove, the fog seemed to grow thicker, obscuring my vision and distorting the world around me. Shadows danced at the edge of my headlights, whispering secrets that sent shivers down my spine. I tried to shake off the feeling of dread that gripped me, but it clung to me like a specter, haunting every corner of my mind. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I saw her. A young woman, her figure barely visible through the thick mist, stood at the side of the road, her face obscured by the swirling fog. She waved frantically, beckoning me to stop, but something about her seemed off, like a mirage shimmering in the desert heat. Against my better judgment, I pulled over, the sound of my heart pounding in my ears as I rolled down the window to speak to her. But before I could say a word, she vanished into the mist, leaving behind nothing but an echo of her haunting laughter. Shaken but determined to uncover the truth, I set out into the fog, the eerie silence broken only by the sound of my footsteps on the damp forest floor. With each passing moment, the fog seemed to grow denser, enveloping me in a suffocating embrace. And then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, I stumbled upon a clearing in the forest, a place where the mist parted like a curtain to reveal a scene straight out of a nightmare. In the center of the clearing stood a dilapidated mansion, its windows shattered and its walls covered in ivy. But it was what lay beyond the mansion that sent a chill down my spine, a graveyard, its tombstones weathered and worn with age. As I approached the mansion, I could hear whispers in the mist, voices from the past calling out to me with words I couldn't understand. And then, from the darkness of the mansion's depths, emerged a figure, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. It was then that I realized the truth. The whispers in the mist were the voices of the dead, trapped in a never-ending cycle of torment. And unless I could uncover the secrets of the mansion and put their souls to rest, I would join them in their eternal suffering. With trembling hands and a heart full of fear, I stepped into the mansion, ready to confront whatever horrors awaited me within. Little did I know, the true nightmare had only just begun.